bad, man. You should have heard me yesterday. Somebody told me I sound like RFK Jr. That's not very nice. Somebody asked if I had bronchitis. No, I don't know what it is. It's not bronchitis. I'll live. It's fine. I'm coming out of it. It's no big deal. My typhoid Mary mother-in-law brought a sickness in. No, I'm kidding. No, we're fine. All right. Now, let's deal with something here. The balancing act. I have this email. Hey, Jesse, the wife let me cancel Disney, the guy said. And this is going somewhere, believe me. The wife let me cancel Disney. And that made me think of a Disney ad I saw on television yesterday when I was sitting there, bored out of my mind, just flipping through the channels. Gosh, TV sucks now. Don't ever stay homesick. That's part of the reason I'm here talking to you. I missed you, and home sucks. It's boring. Anyway, Disney ad comes on the television. Now, you, sorry, you're going to have to ignore a little bit of that during the show. You, what do you think of Disney right now? Not what it was right now. What do you think of it right now? Well, trash, right? You watch all the movies. Every single thing is DEI, this and DEI, that, and the LGBTQ this, and do we have enough lesbians in this child's cartoon? And you're disgusted by Disney. I'm disgusted by Disney. You've stopped going. You've canceled Disney Plus. You don't go to the new Marvel movies. I know you don't. I see the numbers. That's what you think about Disney. This Disney commercial came on. And honestly, Chris, I wish I'd found it before the show. Their latest advertisement. Don't worry about it. You don't have to, because I don't even know if it'll come off on radio well. But just know this. It looked like the Disney you knew and the Disney you would love. I watched it. As soon as it came on, I thought, oh, here we go. I can't wait to see all the LGBTQ. It's probably a rainbow ad. And you know what this Disney ad was? It was 30 seconds of Americana, baby. It was 30 seconds of loving families, man, woman, bunch of kids in the park. It was showing you old clips of old Disney movies, if I remember right, that you love. Oh, look, Cinderella this and that. It was 30 seconds of America. That's what it was. And that brings me to the balance.
Look at those trees, all yellow.
We have a very interesting balancing act the communists in America have to play. And they have to play this balancing act. You should know before I go into it. They have to play this balancing act because they thrive on two things. What does the communist thrive on? What fuels the communists? You know what the two things are. Deception and your apathy. You see, the communist looks at you, your home, we'll call it your house. He looks at your home and gosh, he hates it so much. It burns him to no end that your home exists. It is the source of all evil. We're talking about America. Remember, that's how Democrats these days, that's how they view the country. We're all communists now. America is the source of everything evil. It's all evil, racist, misogynist, the source of all our problems, destroying the planet. Everything about the country sucks. He wants to, gosh, he just wants to burn it down so bad it's true. But the problem is, you love your house. And you're not just going to let him. You're not going to let him do that. So he has to figure out a way for you to let him. At least let him in so he can start tearing it up. So what's he do? He lies, of course. No, I love your house. Beautiful house. Gosh, that's awesome. But are those shutters? Are those plantation shutters? Well, those are expensive. He loves you. He acts like he loves your house. And he really, really thrives on you never catching on to what he's doing. So some cases he'll obfuscate. How about that word? What, Chris? And in some cases he'll outright lie. Why does Disney have a male princess, quote, with a beard, handing things to your daughter at Disney World, telling her she's a lesbian who should cut off her breasts, and yet their Disney ads on TV look like you made them. They look like I made them. Why? You can't let them know what he's doing. And you see this over and over and over again with the modern American communist. And you can tell he's always doing a balancing act no matter what the issue is. You could be because you're too scared. When you ask people why they don't speak up, they'll oftentimes talk about how scared they are. I don't want a mob coming to my house. He needs that. He needs that. But the street communist scum, they also need the elite communist scum to keep them out of trouble. That's why they can take over the house, the Senate building, interrupt the proceeding, and they'll all get slaps on the wrist. Everybody knows it. You know what I know.
Yeah, guys, the U.S. Capitol is a big complex, so where we're standing is an office building just off of the Capitol. It's where members of Congress have their offices, and this is what came just about a half hour ago, a little bit less. You can see demonstrators actually at the tip of my finger there starting to get removed now by U.S.
Yeah, that's why they do it. So the tightrope he has to walk when he has to give an answer on anything, he has to give enough red meat, no one likes beets. He has to give enough red meat to the street communist scum to make them think he's still with them. No, I'm with you. I hate America like you do. This place sucks. But at the same time, he can't come right out and say that, because then Normie Norm and Normie Norma will cease being apathetic. And he needs Norm's apathy. It is the fuel that drives him. You can never, not you, but your neighbor, he can never catch on to how truly anti-American and evil these people are. That's the ultimate tightrope every single one of these commie scumbags walks when they make public comments. Do you remember they used to mock Obama all the time for how often he would say, when he talked? He cleaned it up towards the end of his presidency. But very early on, remember, he was fresh off the streets of Chicago as a communist street animal. Gets himself into elected office. 15 minutes later, he's president. So when he would speak, this is a true America hater, real America hater. He would always go, it got so bad, Letterman was mocking him back in the day.
This is an excellent segment, and you folks, thank your lucky stars you're here tonight. It's time for the Barack Obama count. Are you ready? Here we go.
All those things override a guilt by association. Some of these issues to talk more fully about with full documentation that there's nothing I think there's no doubt that it has been in the past.
Come back to finish this about the tightrope they walk in ways we can take advantage of it. Just a revelation about what you see and hear. It'll be eye-opening when you hear them speak from now on. Before we get to that, let's do something really quickly. Obviously, we are going to make sure we're still paying attention to what's happening with the fiscal disaster.
Alex and I remain resolute in our commitment to returning inflation to 2% over time. A range of uncertainties, both old ones and new ones, complicate our task of balancing the risk of tightening monetary policy too much.
Oh, good. That was Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Do you have your emergency 3-month food kit yet? Are you prepared for the economic calamity that is coming? Do I need to remind you, the interest on the debt used to be $250 billion. It's about to be 1.2 billion greater, or 1.2 trillion, I'm sorry, greater than the military budget. The house is coming down. Get 3 months worth of non-perishable food for everyone who lives in your home to make sure you're ready whatever comes. My Patriot Supply sells them, and they're $200 off right now. Don't wait until you need it. Now's the time. Go to preparewithjessekelly.com and get yours tonight. Preparewithjessekelly.com. We'll be back.
Join me, Glenn Beck, tomorrow morning at 7 on Freedom 93.7.
If your dog could mow your lawn, he would. Or take out the garbage or paint your house. I bet your dog would do that for you too. My dog Fred would. And certainly if your loyal companion could provide the daily nutrition nutrition you need, he or she would do that too. So why not do something special for our four-legged best friends? That's why I'm helping naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black spread the truth about dog food. That dog food is dead food. That's why he created Rough Greens, not a dog food, but a natural supplement added to your dog's food, bringing it to life. If low energy, itching, achy joints, bad breath, and digestive issues are a problem, just sprinkle on Rough Greens. It has just the right vitamins and minerals, digestive enzymes, antioxidants, probiotics, and omega oils. Dr. Black is so confident Rough Greens will help, he's offering a free Jumpstart trial bag. Just handle the shit.
Yellow.
Hey, he'd do it for you. Go to freeroughgreens.com/Jesse or call 833-33 by
Now you can relive the greatest moments from our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming only on Hulu.
Lenny Kravitz sings off his biggest hits.
Foo Fighters take home the crowd singing along.
Debuts his new song live.
Brings the 90s hip hop energy.
Fall Out Boy covers a classic, while literally on fire, and so much more.
The greatest moments from our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Streaming now only on Hulu for a limited time.
The so-called mainstream media never attribute to incompetence or being in a hurry that which you can attribute to anti-Semitism. When an explosion happened at a hospital in Gaza on Tuesday, the New York Times ran a headline, "Israeli strike kills hundreds in hospital, Palestinians say." Really? Now we're going to run a wildly inflammatory headline, one that can and arguably did cause riots around the world based on what a terrorist regime says? And despite the fact that the claim was beyond implausible? Multiple news outlets and anti-Semitic politicians ran with it. It was always likely to be wrong. Whenever the left can make someone they don't like, in this case Jews, look bad, the truth always suffers. And that's today's Ross Report, brought to you by Ellendale Heating and Air Conditioning. Government regulations keep getting tougher for HVAC equipment, but Ellendale has you covered with Ream's new Endeavor line of furnaces and air conditioners. They're efficient, dependable, and meet all the newest codes. And with Ellendale, you get great pricing, financing, and even rebates. Get started today at bestdenverhvac.com.
Buffs Break. Presented by Quantum Fiber Internet.
Your world unleashed. QuantumFiber.com.
Here's Buffs great, Alfred Williams.
While we know the Colorado Buffaloes have given up the most sacks in the country, a bigger problem may be a concern with generating their own pass rush. Colorado is 50th in the nation, having dropped the opposing quarterback just 17 times or less than 2.5 sacks per game through 7 contests. However, they are tied for 20th in the nation with 12 takeaways. We know a great pass rush can lead to some easy turnovers, so that's one more thing they can focus on during this bye week. Colorado travels to UCLA a week from Saturday. Free to be everything you imagine, and then some. That's how it feels to have Quantum Fiber Internet. Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed. Learn more at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service in select locations only.
Why is iHeartRadio the #1 streaming radio app? Free music.
Free live radio stations from all over the country.
Free podcasts.
Free playlists.
Free contests. Free artist radio stations.
Commercial-free stations. It's free. I love iHeartRadio. Join the millions of music, radio, and podcast fans on the #1 streaming radio app now.
iHeartRadio.
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 Free never sounded so good.
Freedom of speech lives here.
On Freedom 93.7. Real news, real talk.
Here's the Jesse Kelly Show on a Thursday. I am back, better than ever. Not really. It's kind of a mess here. I'm going to get a look. Somebody thought I was doing drugs in traffic today. We'll go over. You know what? I'm going to tell you that story in 10 minutes. We're going to take a personal break, and I'm going to tell you my drug story. 10 minutes from now, me doing drugs. Not actually doing drugs. I'll explain it in a minute. Back to what we were talking about. The balancing act America's communists have to walk. Then I just played it in case you're just joining us. They have to walk a balancing act when they speak publicly. Because they're all communists now, they hate the place, they want to burn it down. They know you love the place, you don't want it to burn it down. They must do this balance where they're telling their base, yes, America does suck, and I promise I'm going to hurt it the way you want me to hurt it. While at the same time, not telling you that. And it's interesting to watch them do it. And I should preface this by saying I'm about to play a long clip of AOC doing this. It's hilarious. But I should preface this by saying they only get away with this. America's communists only get away with this because of the American communist media. If you had a country where you had a real media, not even right wing, just any kind of a real media, you'd never get away with this balancing act because they would sniff it and they'd push you over. But America's communist media, they help them do this, help them put it in the nicest terms. This is a little long. I may cut her off at some point in time, but I'm going to play AOC. Don't worry about the subject matter, but she's talking Israel Hamas. Now, AOC is a communist. AOC understands that communists in America love Hamas. Why? It's all just a big communist death cult designed to burn down the West. And that's why you've seen these pro-Hamas demonstrations all across the country. AOC understands that's her constituency. Those are her supporters. AOC wants to sit down on CNN. If she was just able to be honest, she wants to sit down and say, yeah, I love Hamas. Hamas, they help me win elections. And the local Hamas supporters here, they're all commies who I love. I love them. And I'm probably going to need them to hurt and intimidate people I want to hurt and intimidate in the future. So I will embrace them. And you know what? I hate America more than I even hate Israel. That's what AOC wants to say. But she understands, even in her district, she can't really say that. So she sits down with friendly apparatchiks at CNN. And you want to hear the tightrope? The tightrope I just described? Listen to the tightrope here. This is what they do.
You and several other of your colleagues released a statement calling on for a ceasefire. But what is Israel supposed to do about Hamas after they abducted over 1,000 of their citizens? Are they supposed to just do nothing?
Well, I think that's important to note about a ceasefire is that it's not one-sided. Hamas has been sending thousands of rockets into Israel as well. And what is important is for us to identify our goal in terms of what safety means, in terms of what defense means. And I think...
Pause. I'm going to let her keep going. See what she's doing already? Changing the subject. Obfuscating. Chris, that's twice. What, Chris? That's twice at the opening of the show. Changing the subject. Well, no, I mean, what's really important? You walk in drunk from golf and the wife says, how many beers did you have? And you say, honey, I have to tell you, your earrings are so pretty. Honestly, look at your eyes, the way they make your eyes sparkle. That's what AOC's doing here. No, I'll let her keep going. This is the tightrope. They all do it. This is the American communist. He can never let you know what he's thinking because your apathy is his fuel.
Congresswoman, I think the position from Israel's perspective is that there was already an attack. And Hamas already committed an attack. After that happened,
Right about now, you should know she wants to come out of her chair and scream, I don't care, good, screw the Jews, I love Hamas. That's what she wants to say. She can't. America's populace won't allow her. That's what she wants.
do you really believe that they should not respond to that?
I think what we need to take a look at in this situation is if collective punishment qualifies as defense, if the blockade on water, food, electricity, if the dropping of white phosphorus qualifies. So I do believe that there's a discussion to be had here.
There's a discussion. They love doing that. Well, sure, we could have a discussion. Of course there's a discussion. I'm not being unreasonable. Let's have a discussion.
Believe that an either or approach is what is unnecessary, but we should identify what our goal is, which is the cooling of tensions in the
Well,
region.
Israel's goal is to rid the region of Hamas. They've been very clear about that. And for Israel to deal with Hamas, which is a force...
Yeah, you got it. It goes on for another minute. They all do it. It's why even high IQ Obama, and yes, he had one, it's why even David Letterman made fun of him. Why could someone with such a high IQ not get through a sentence without saying,
This is an excellent segment, and you folks, thank your lucky stars you're here tonight. It's time for the Barack Obama count. Are you ready? Here we go.
yeah, I'm not going to play it for you. Why is that? Because they can never let you know what they really want. Now, how do we combat that? And is there a Republican balancing act? There is. We will cover it after I tell you about doing drugs. Before we do that, let's do something good now. look hard to see somebody dismembered, blown up, shot, stabbed. It's friggin' awful now. And look, I understand that that's the world we live in. But we can spread some light and we can spread some life, can't we? That's what you do when you give to preborn. You are creating life, sparing life, saving life. You are giving a free ultrasound to a woman who is about to kill her baby. She thinks it's a clump of cells. She's scared. She doesn't know. Preborn brings her in, gives her an ultrasound for free. She hears the heartbeat. The majority of the time, vast majority of the time, she chooses life because of you and the $28 you give to preborn. That's what you've done, and thank you for it. It's all tax deductible.